Morning, folks. My name's Jeff Ronson, and here at Craig Smith RV, now home of Mahindra tractors. In case you haven't heard, folks, they pull more, push more, and lift more in here. And today we want to spend a little time with this 2638 model in here. And I'm actually here with one of our top reps, Dan Boyd. And Dan, you actually own this particular model, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to have you tell them, folks out here, why this tractor, this particular model?
Oh, there was a lot of factors in when I started doing my search and whatnot, and what sold me on this particular unit was first thing, price. Very strong price point for the horsepower rating and whatnot. The second part was durability. They they have a high reputation for their durability. Their lift capacities, their pushing.
Wow, sounds like true value to me, Dan. So you talked about some of that. How about this MCRD or this product? That's a little bit different than anything out there. Can you tell folks a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the MCRD is it's Mahindra's way of doing the Tier 4 emissions and completing that without a DPF filter. Without that DPF filter, you have no regen, no downtime, no added cost down the road if that ever needs to be replaced. The DPF filters can set you back several thousands of dollars. And with Mahindra, they spent about $32 million as far as development of this system and so on and so forth. So very happy with it so far. It does an excellent job. I couldn't be happier with the performance of the tractor.
So no regen times, no breaking up your work day.
None.
Man, that's what's awesome to me, and it looks like a feature. What are the other features there? Was there any of the controls or the seats? Or just tell me a little bit about why this thing works for you, because you're not the littlest fella in the business.
So what sold me on this particular model was going to be the creature comforts that it offered, down to the controls, to the seat. The seat is the M Comfort suspension seat. Very nice seat. It's no additional cost, comes standard on this tractor. I'm a bigger guy, so it fits me very well. The suspension seat's nice when you're running down a road or something, or a field. It's real bumpy. The other thing's going to be the hand controls. The loader, this used to be what they would call 2538 was the previous model to this. And the loader control used to be up here on the loader. What they did was they moved it back here, and it's a lot more accessible to the seat and to the control, the operator. Another great feature that was a selling point for me was the side-by-side pedals, the hydrostatic. Very simple. It's nice that if you're going forward and have to back up quick, you just move your foot over, and that's all you had to do. And that's nice for loader work. You're moving gravel or dirt, whatnot. It's very nice to be able to transform to reverse that. Just that quick. So that was huge for me. Another selling point with this was the oversized tires that they put on this particular unit.
Yeah.
It gives it a lot more stability. I've actually worked my tractor quite a bit here since I've had it. I've done a lot of garden tilling. I've done a lot of driveway repair, whatnot, brush hogging. And I'll tell you what, it really does. It makes a difference, especially when you have the loader up and, when you're hauling something heavy in the bucket. So
you're talking about working there, Dan, and things like this. Tell me a little bit more about, if you could, about the implements that are available for this and the kind of things that you can use this tractor for.
So the nice part about this tractor is it's very open to a lot of different implements and whatnot. The loader does have the quick attach, so you can get any skid steer attachment put on the front of this tractor. It's as simple as lifting two handles and your bucket's free. They do offer a third function for hydraulics if you want to run a grapple. There's several different things you can do with the front of this. When I bought my implements, there was really two options you could go with. The 5-foot works well with this particular tractor, and the 6-foot works well, just as well. If I went with the 6-foot, 5-foot's just as good. It's actually, the 5-foot implements are a bit cheaper, so you can save yourself a few $100s on each implement. I went with the 6-foot implements just for efficiency and whatnot, get the job done a little faster and whatnot. And so far it's had no problems whatsoever. Anything I've hooked to it, as far as power wise, it's handled it just fine. Right now I'm running a 6-foot box blade. I'm running a 6-foot rototiller and a 6-foot rotary cutter. So it does the job I need it to do, and haven't had a bit of problems out of it.
Fantastic. And I understand this option also comes with a cab, right? But you chose not.
It does. And I was back and forth on the cab unit and this one and the open station. And what a lot of the reason what sold me on the open station for my individual need was because I have a bank barn, and there was going to be times that I had to go into the barn with the tractor to clean out stalls and whatnot and move stuff around. So the cab just didn't fit my bill. Obviously the cab's a great choice. Trust me, if I could have fitted in my barn, I would have had it in a minute. I mean, air conditioning, radio, I mean, it's the heat, it's a great setup. So,
well, prior to owning this one, Dan, you'd worked, I don't know, what other tractors that you worked in, what's some of the big difference, and why can this thing push more, pull more, lift more?
So, the thing of it is I've run just about I've run Kubota, I've run New Holland, Deere, I've run Massey Ferguson, quite a few different other brands, and I'll tell you, I won't knock any of them. They're all great. It's just my preference is the reason why the Mahindra is what the Mahindra is. They still build this like a traditional tractor. If you look at the back end of this tractor, the rear end of the tractor, it's going to be a cast iron rear end. A lot of the other competitors are steering away from that. So if you look at the back of the tractor, it's still built like a traditional tractor. With that being said, where your lift more, pull more, push more comes into effect, that's why they're still using the same values out of the old school tractor style. Hydrostatic, that's the option I went with. You can do a shuttle shift or a hydrostatic in this. My reason for hydrostatic is everybody's worried about is it going to be powerful enough to do this or do that. People got to take into consideration some of your biggest equipment on this earth is hydrostatic. Your bulldozers, your excavators. That's not an issue to worry about. It's got plenty of power to move the dirt, do what you got to do, pull a plow. I have run a 2-bottom plow on this a couple times. It does it just fine. And I'll tell you, I'm very, very satisfied with the product they come out with.
So you're saying these are a little heavier than most tractors, but
yes.
They're still using
absolutely.
They're using steel instead of aluminum. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm sure everybody knows that steel is more durable. Cast iron is going to be a lot more durable than aluminum. A lot of the competitors went to a cast aluminum rear end. And with Mahindra, staying with the cast iron, their drawbar system, everything, that's still it's a basic. Right. It comes with every Mahindra tractor. A lot of the competitors, that's now an option because they have to do special installs and whatnot for the weight.
Right.
So,
Dan, I know all tractors eventually somewhere down the line you got to end up maintaining these things. And
sure.
How is it about maintaining this thing compared to maybe some of the other brands?
So far, I haven't hit my first service yet. I'm not too shy off from it. I think I got about 5 hours to go, and I'll hit my 50-hour service. But from what I see, everything is just laid out as easy as possible. One of the things I love about this tractor that it was a huge selling point for me is I check my oil faithfully every time I go to use a piece of equipment. And with this tractor here, you don't have to pull off any kind of body panel, lift the hood, nothing. Your oil tube is going to be right here. So all you got to do is check it before you go, and you're good to go. I mean, it takes literally no effort, no time, very simple to check, and you're going.
You brought me to a really important thing. I saw that 7-year warranty, Dan. Tell me a little bit about that.
I'll tell you what, I've been lucky, and I'll tell you what, I haven't had to use it. So, that's one that I know it's there. I know it's available for me if I need it. But so far, so good out of mine. I have not had any kind of warranty issues out of my tractor. I think at like 45 hours right now, so okay. I'm getting up there for my first service, and I have not had the least bit of issue out of this tractor. It's comfortable. It feels solid. That's, when you look something up on the loader, it doesn't feel like, you're going all over the place. It feels intact on the ground. It feels safe. That's, what sold me on this tractor. So.
I mean, I know you showed us this tractor. What about the power plant or the power compared to?
So Mahindra, they really did a great job. They come out with a 4-cylinder engine on this unit. It's 37.4 horsepower. Very, very powerful engine. It actually very economical on the diesel fuel. I'll tell you, I get a lot of work done. It's got a 9-gallon tank, and I'll tell you what, I can get a lot of work done on 9 gallons with this tractor. It doesn't starve for power any. It runs anything PTO driven. Like I said, I do run like a 2-bottom plow occasionally with it. It does just fine. I'll tell you, it's a well built tractor. I think for the money, it is really hard to beat. As far as the competition goes, if you look at a lot of the different manufacturer specs, the lift capacity, on the loader, the 3-point is way higher than a lot of the others. Heck, even in their 26 horse models, they're comparing to a lot of the other guys, 32, 33 horse tractors. So I mean, that's what's a key point with these. The no DPF filter, that was probably the biggest selling point for me. A lot of guys are comparing these to the Roll King tractors, the RK tractors, and they do look similar. I get that. I can understand why they see a difference, but there's really a lot more goes into it, with these tractors. When you get a warranty claim on a Mahindra, you're going to get genuine Mahindra parts. From what I've understood and been told, a Roll King tractor, sometimes they have to fly a tech in to even look at your tractor. And then, there's times where when they have to replace a part, it's all reman parts. So, it's a big difference there. They run DPF filter, we don't. So.
Well, Dan, this is probably the model for you to do the work that you need to get done, but we do have a considerable inventory. I guess what would you say about some folks that are doing maybe a little less work than you're doing in our inventory, or maybe perhaps even a little bit more? What do you say our inventory? How can we handle those needs?
I think we have about every tractor to handle every person's need that walks through the door. We have everything down to 20 horse. Right now on site we have tractors up to 75 horse, and we can get bigger tractors in. That's no problem. The turnaround time from an order to a tractor on site is very, very quick. They do a great job getting our units here. They come through clean. As soon as these units come in, they're PDI inspected. They go over the whole entire unit to make sure this tractor is safe. It's working proper. Everything's ready to go before the customer picks it up or we deliver it. So.
Fantastic. You mentioned delivery, but how important is it to also have service and parts here available as well?
That's a huge factor. You're going to have people that, I understand people want to fix their own things and whatnot, and to an extent I fix my own things, but there's a lot of stuff on these tractors that are left to the professionals, and we do have a great service department, great parts department. We have all the fluids that you might need for these tractors. We have great tech. He's been working on stuff like this for years, tons of experience. And he even compliments it every time he gets done doing an inspection on one or servicing one, how well these things are built. So, I mean, it's a great product. I'd really like for you to stop in, take a look at it, and see for yourself what this thing can offer you.
Fantastic, man. Well, come and see us here at Craig Smith RV, now home of Mahindra Tractors.